Unprecedented destruction. A CNN investigation discovering Iran has caused extensive damage to a majority of the U.S. military sites in the region. Precise Iranian missile and drone strikes, aided by sophisticated Chinese technology, hitting some of America's most crucial military assets in the Middle East. The extent of the damage unknown until now. Our Tamara Kablawi is out front.
Camp Buehring, Kuwait. American soldiers enjoying a karaoke night at one of the biggest U.S. military hubs in the Gulf. That was then. This is now. A once bustling American microcity in the desert, nearly empty and heavily damaged after a weeks-long barrage of Iranian missiles and drones. One of many U.S. military facilities in the oil-rich Arabian Peninsula, targeted by Iran even as the U.S. and Israel pummeled the Islamic Republic's large arsenal. So what impact have Iran's strikes had on America's footprint in the Middle East? A CNN investigation found evidence of unprecedented destruction. We can reveal that strikes damaged at least 16 U.S. installations across 8 countries. According to our analysis and sourcing, that's the majority of American military positions in the region, and some of them are virtually unusable now. A U.S. source familiar with the situation told us that they'd never seen anything like this at American bases, that these were rapid, targeted strikes using advanced technology. Iran's main targets? Multi-million-dollar aircraft, like this Boeing E-3 Sentry, which gave the U.S. a huge amount of visibility over the Gulf. It's out of production, and in today's money, it's worth nearly $500 million.
Unprecedented destruction.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Heavenly Father's only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. The honors to our apostles, and Elder Bishop, the great millstone, for teaching us his truth according to the Bible and well. Allah Shalom, not sincere argument throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth through diligence and sincerity and in charity, and Allah Shalom, to all you sincere followers, believers of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, and seers of the world, but doers as well, you men, women, and children, hopefully elect Shalom. And as you can see, Esau, the subsequent so-called white man, does not have the power, the strength that he once had. He's still very powerful with his army, but the other nations, the Lord is raising them up. And what you're witnessing is the end of the self-proclaimed so-called white man's rulership. All right. He's losing his strongholds in these Western Asia regions, man. And these are all telltale signs of his end being near, which means the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Latinos, Native American Indians, our rulership is next. We represent Jacob. Okay, we go back to Jacob. Let's get some more precepts. It's the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord power upon the sinful kingdom. The sinful kingdom is America. Contrary to popular belief, it's another reason why a lot of these foreigners love to come to America, because they could do their wickedness, mainly sodomy. All right, well, over here, where I live at, it's all these two dot-head East Indians, two men holding hands, very very fruity, and it was another Elamite woman that was like walking, and she saw what I saw, and she like turned her nose up in disgust, like she was ashamed. And I was laughing. I was like, yeah, when you come to America, that's what you get to do. So back in those lands, they that's you look down upon, and severe, harsh judgments. All right. But the eyes of the Lord, the angels, they're upon the sinful kingdom of America. It reads on Amos 9 and 8, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. How is the Lord going to destroy it? Through thermonuclear ICBM missiles that a lot of these nations have, and Esau doesn't want these nations to have them, right? Because then, America can't be the big bully anymore. And they need, to get into Iran. They need to, conquer them, because it's all part of the MOTB. But it says, and I will destroy upon the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. So the elect's going to be the only ones that pretty much gets to save out of this disaster, man. The elect and the elites, but they're going to be the first batch of crops in the kingdom, man. All right? And this war that's happening, World War III, is not going to be fought like other wars, man. All right? Yeah, it's going to start off, all right, with how it is now, taking over particular areas, strongholds, all right, but ultimately going to lead to, it's going to be the boots on the ground, which they're talking about now, about having a draft in a couple of weeks. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. And then it's going to be straight nuclear. ICBMs. This is Isaiah 9:5. For every battle, the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this should be with burning and fuel of fire. Right. Over 200,000 missiles are going to hit this place. And we're in the beginnings of all these things falling in line. All these things are falling in line, man. All right? Yeah, those ancient battles that were fought. It was fought with what? Horses and, shield and buckler and arrows, spears, hand-to-hand combat. But now, those it's going to be fought differently because technology has increased. All right, and these boots on the ground really don't have to happen, right? The ones that go over there are going to be a sacrifice. Your children, your sons, your daughters, your aunties, your uncles, your moms, your dads, they're going to be sacrifices over there. All right, they're not coming back once they get drafted off. They ain't coming back, man. So, let's grab another one. Let's go to, brought this out yesterday. Job 14:5, it says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So the self-proclaimed so-called white man, his days are determined. And he's not going to be able to go past what the Lord has prescribed for him to rule. We got to remember, we just came across 250 years of America's birthday. And, the average kingdom lasts about 250. All right? So we're looking at the end. We're looking at the end. You're seeing things being unraveled. This man's not able to feed his military. I did a lesson on that back here probably about a month ago. People are asking for food and, goodie baskets being sent to them. All right. Which they're not getting all of it. It's being stopped and, being rationed out You know, you're not, let's say your parents, you're in the Army, your parents send you something, you're in the Marines, your family send you a Goodwill package, and it's being distributed amongst everyone else and not given to you. Or you may get a portion of it. This man can't even feed his men. And there's no thing up under the sun. All right, this happened before, it's gonna happen again. So I just wanted to touch on that, man. You know, Esau's losing. You know, next thing is the war, the MOTB, and World War III. Shalom.
I'm sure you've seen